Hello to all the amazing people, TheNeomare here with another episode of Limbus Company. We are going through the chapter 3 dungeon. If you're not up to date, you might want to check previous couple of videos and see what we did so far anyhow, but we did like the floor 1 and now we did the floor 2. But yeah, you can find the playlist in the comments below, or you can watch my whole journey from this wonderful game. It's a very nice brawler, party builder, narrative kind of game from Project Moon, and I'm enjoying it a lot. However, if you're gonna stick around, then welcome, sit back, relax and enjoy as we go down another floor, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you do like it. Bam, let's go. Oh, we're gonna have a fight here. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use my standard group to start things off. Let's go. So yeah. So this dungeon so far has been really nice for me. Mostly easy, but some pretty cool events. Oh, it's a boss fight. Hello there. Well, we fought this dude in the mirror dungeon, so mostly I was never really impressed by it. Mostly it was like a very one-sided battle. But let's see, what is this? Instincts. Turn end at 4+ count, change to an aggressive state. Okay. Okay, this hits for 40, 20, 40, 72. Like, for real now? So it has 3 plus 3, so 3, 6, 9 up to 12. Okay. So who can... Okay, this one's favorite, this one's neutral. Dominating this one, okay. Well, I like the idea of doing a dominating attack. Right. Yeah, let's do dominating. So this is a... Let's see, worst case scenario is we get hit. Okay, fatal times 2. Okay. So she has very good armor against blunt, so it would not be a total disaster if that happens. Okay, let's go with it. Okay, then what we have? 3 to 20, 2 to 11. I'm not sure I want to risk like losing clashes against it unless it's also dominating. I could go with something like that, I guess, just to be safe, and then 2 to 11 is probably okay. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see, what are you weak to, dude? We don't know, so let me think. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this through, actually. Let's just... Oh, not that. I see. Okay, let's just queue them up and then we're gonna change it to that. There we go. Okay. Oh, I messed it up. This should have been a clash, no? Oh, dude. Something went wrong. Marisol's gonna get blasted in his face. How did I mess it up? Did I like kill something else against the first one? Maybe I didn't. Maybe just like... Nope. Okay, no, that's the third one. We knew we are letting this one go, so that's fine. Yeah, that's the really strong attack. I thought I clashed... No, that wasn't it. Okay, it's okay. Okay, it's all good. All good. Nothing bad's happening. Right. So now 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Why are these attacks so weak? Bleed, paralyze, gaze, bind, attack power down. Is it because of the attack power down thing? Oh, could be. Hopeless. Well, I definitely don't want to be hopeless, so... Okay. Well, it's just one enemy, so the fight is way easier than you would think for a 600 HP enemy here. Yeah, a little bit underwhelming. The hardest fight I had were definitely the ones against like 4 enemies, so yeah. Okay, so it's doing 15 to 63, so that's Yeah, that's not nice. I'm gonna take Foss here for sure. So she's strong against Blunt, and who else? Oh no, you're too slow. Let's see, Rogion, not strong. Oh, everyone else is like fatal to Blunt, so I can have him try to defend by doing the thing. There we go. And then everyone else there, 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 there. Okay, this one goes into Faust right now. Let's see. Yeah, and this one goes here, but we are dominating, so we should be fine, hopefully. And here I'm saying this is an easy fight, yet I'm using E.G.O attacks, well, just in case. I mean, worst things, if worst comes to worst, like Mersault could tank that attack. It has a lot of HP. We're actually bleeding here. What is that all about? The multitude tightens its hold. Like, the thing that's confusing me, I don't see the enemy rolls, so it's like... It seems like we also binded it with that, so now we can like choose who goes where without any issues like at all, which is like pretty nice actually. Let's go. So it's already half that, so just a little bit more. A Slithering Inquisitor. I'm surprised they didn't do some kind of story, something to explain what is this thing, right? That would be kind of nice. This game already has so much story that it doesn't really matter, so. Oh. Poison. Turn end. Take 10 fixed damage, then half the count. So we are all poisoned. Pained Writting. Okay, Fragile, take plus 50% damage this turn, max 100%. Wetting Skin, when attacked, inflict 3 poison on the attacker. Ooh. So the plot thickens. I mean, you can also heal next round, we don't have to do it now. How are we doing against the clashing against the... it's okay, just go. But yeah, definitely like... biting back this enemy is, so... The current, come on, zap it. Zap it. Execution, this would be a really nice attack, by the way. Well, it seems like it's kind of resilient to it, though. And we're getting more and more poison stacks with each attack, right? Don't see any poison stacks going up, but it's that, so whatever. Yeah, everyone took 10 damage, so... Oof. And another one bites the dust, and now we are in the bottom. Ooh. Ritual Square, Heal of Corpses. This one seems pretty straightforward, but don't... Okay, right. The area has transformed into endless hills of corpses thanks to the Golden Bow's influence. Inquisitors in the midst of prayer to somebody can be seen. Right, I will try to get more people to maximum SP here. Why is everyone 0 SP? We just want to fight. That's peculiar, actually. Maybe I should not be doing this. Oh, because there was another checkpoint after that fight. Oh, I see. I see endless mounds of dead bodies. The Inquisitors were raising their arms in unison as if to worship something. And there Cromer stood at the highest peak. She held out her hands in a prayer-like gesture towards the golden bow atop of an altar. Okay, the phantoms of the E.G.O are already open. I see someone has resonated with the ball before us. The hell are they up to? What are they raising their hands for? Prayer. What is this sound? This feels awfully familiar, somehow annoyingly tingly and unpleasant. Sounds like an ice cream truck. Not really, but it's a school bell. Our boy hated school too much, eh? The playful conversation seemed to lighten the mood of the sinners. Save for one, Sinclair, is it? The one who should have been the owner of the phantoms still showed unease. No, I don't want to show my memories. They're... Unfortunately, his plea held no power over the realm. Alright, everyone, listen up! The one who grips so declares. The one who grips so declares. Not only are those heretics disturbing our sacred rite, they are now even after the offering that is rightfully ours to consecrate. Disgraceful and defiled are they. Disgraceful and defiled are they. Go forth and die, do not fear your end. As long as the offering of gold is with us, you shall be brought back to life again and again. We shall fear not, the one who grips is with us. We shall fear not, the one who grips is with us. And Sinclair, hurry over, you belong in my hands. No greater joy exists than to be wielded by the one who grips. No greater joy exists than the one to be wielded by the one who grips. Sinclair, did you bring the coin? The breaks between classes are always lively since everyone gathers around to talk. The adults would often watch us from afar and take this as a heartwarming sight. So this fist on the table reminded me of a game called The Bloody Coin. Let's see if they actually played it. Let's see if that's what she is like. She's referring to. But there's something they don't realize. When you take a closer look, these merry interactions are brimming with envy, vainglory, pride, and guile. I don't think they are. Okay. Children are crafty creatures. Reminiscent classmate. I heard Rahul from the next class over is getting surgery on both arms by his father. Gonna be with some new tech that's never been shown before. How cool is that? You know this actor and all the magazine covers? Did I ever mention they're getting an eye transplant at my mom's clinic? The wait list was long. They personally begged to be moved up. I grow more anxious with each boastful story my classmates tell. What can I share? Their expecting eyes pointed at me felt like they could turn into scoffing leers at any moment. Oh, kids can be so cruel. You need to up and up each other all the time. It's like, it can be exhausting. Like, if you surround yourself with wrong people, it can be a mess. This is a secret, but I swallowed nervously. Maybe they weren't asking me for a story after all, but I had to keep their curious eyes on me. I knew for sure that it'd become an outcast the moment they looked away. My dad signed a contract with E.G.O Corp. They saw the technology he was working on and agreed to give their full support. My goodness, just what was I thinking when I spilled that? Out of the fear that I'd be isolated from my peers, I carelessly spelled my own ruin. Maybe I was compelled by some childish urge or an inherent desire to be recognized by the other students. Yep, it's an inherent desire to be recognized by your peers, really. It's like a part of growing up, really. At some point you get this really big need to be recognized by your peers. It's like one of the pillars of, well, growing up, really, about like building your character. Now, Emil, this is a confidential agreement for our business. You mustn't tell another soul. His insistence reminder echoed in my head. I could see his face. So yeah, his father told him not to tell anyone, and he told everyone. Good job, Sinclair, good job. Wow, is that for real, Sinclair? E.G.O Corp, like that wing? Wow, I'm jealous. I became the center of conversation in a split second. I can feel the stimulated eyes of the other kids in class drawn to me. Superiority was pretty damn sweet. I guess I was driven by a depraved craving for attention. Alright, Sinclair, your procedure soon, isn't it? You know, the prosthetics? Yeah, of course. They told me I'll get the newest model. If they paid just a bit attention to my face, they'd have noticed that reluctance in my expression. Fortunately, no one ever pointed it out. A massive wave of guilt eventually washed over me after our break was over and I was finally left alone. I was supposed to keep that a secret. What if father finds out? Blood was leaking from my fingertip. The bad habit of biting my nails whenever I felt anxious ended up hurting me. I tried clipping them as short as I could to work on breaking it, but I never considered that I might bite into my skin instead. Oh, snap. Watching blood droplets fall onto the desk, I thought of something. Once I graduate, I'll get a prosthetic replacement, and then I'll never get hurt or see my blood ever again. But is that really? Oh, Cromer. You're bleeding. Someone cast a shadow over my desk with a whimsical whistle. She was a classmate I rarely talked to, so I could barely remember her name. Flustered, I stuttered out of my response awkwardly. Oh, what is that? Listen, what you said earlier, is it legit? Yeah, it's legit. I see. Your father must be a real big deal, isn't he? Yeah, I guess. Her unexpected flattery has me embarrassed, as if my father's greatness were somehow my own. Though, why did you make that face? You know, you were thinking it to yourself. Then she lowered her head and whispers for only me to hear. That is filthy. My eyes widened, not just because I was surprised by how she knew what I was thinking, but the fact that a total stranger like her had been able to figure out exactly what I'd been hiding. How did you know? I could have gotten away with it if I just denied her accusations, but tactlessly I asked her what with a dumbfounded look on my face. Because I agree with you on that. You agree? You can see a lot from those who are on the same wavelength as you. Nice to meet you. I'm Cromer. Ever since then, Cromer and I became friends who talk often. Well, I guess that friendship finally caught up to Sinclair, and now, well, we have to untangle this thing. Okay. Right, so we're actually fighting here. Just 3 grunts though. Oh, hello there, struggling. Well, it's just a counter, but I don't care. Hopefully it doesn't hit for much though. Not that I care about Ryushu. She's here just to gain some SP, so if we do end up in an event, and if we do end up her being the best choice, that we can use it, but... Huzzah! Ta-da! Who's that? Is that Honlu? Yeah, she's getting smacked. Counter! There we go. And we get the green resource for that. Huzzah! Okay, everyone's on 45 except these two for some reason. Not sure why that is. I mean, if anything, these two should be on top, no? Yeah, it's okay. They'll be there in no time. Actually, that's ideal because they are joining all the fights, so either way they're gonna get to 45, so... The one who grips, indeed. Nice and easy. A floor 1 fight on a floor 3 dungeon. Yeah, no, like the pacing sometimes off in this game. Okay, so things are getting a little bit interesting. Okay, gonna go here. Hearing bells that may be familiar to some and new to others, we peek into Sinclair's past. He sits in the middle of a lively classroom full of chatty students. Right, so... Okay. Bam, bam, bam. So 3 new people. These 3, I guess. Faustka. Let's go Faust. Oh, there we go. Oh, now he has to tell his dad what he did. As a household rule, my family used to have breakfast at the same table every morning. So basically each chapter, it seems like it's dedicated to one of the sinners. Like we had a chapter dedicated to Gregor, and we had a chapter dedicated to... I forgot. I forgot who the second chapter was dedicated to. But anyway, or the first one. This one is dedicated to Sinclair, so we go through his past and see what lurks in his head and stuff like that. As a household rule, my family used to have breakfast at the same table every morning. It was a pleasant time when our whole family would share stories and encouraging words. I like these mornings, those mornings. The rule was ever so kind and gentle to my heart, a natural and unchanging world that belonged to me. My world. That world began to feel alienating one day, the day when my sister sat at that table after her prosthetic transformation was complete. Oh, okay. My world has begun to change when my father's head was replaced with an unfamiliar contraption of steel circuits and wires. Our family breakfast no longer provided warmth and connection. It became an occasion of detachment where I talked less and less. I had started to feel an inherent abhorrence for prosthesis. I don't know what abhorrence is, but in this context it means something repulsive. That's filthy. My heart couldn't accept the idea of replacing one's flesh and bones with something else, let alone the need for it. Why do we use prosthetic bodies? I carefully asked for an explanation, and the reply was simple. The human body in its unmodified state is too old-fashioned. It needs to be sustained with food, revitalized with sleep, least it should fail from fatigue, and injuries take a long time to heal. All this makes the human body incredibly inefficient. Yeah, but you gain some stuff, right? You gain resilience, you gain more time, you don't need to sleep and eat, but what do you lose? Is the price too much to pay? That's a good question. He concluded that prosthetics will outgrow more commonplace as time goes on and ultimately become a regular part of our daily lives. I thought to myself, why don't I just fall behind the times then, if that's what the mainstream will be? Yeah, I agree, that sounds legit. Though, that wasn't an argument rooted in logic. I mean, if you lose an arm, it's okay to replace it, right? But like, why would you replace a healthy part of your body with something machine-like? Yo, Sinclair! You don't actually want to take the replacement procedure, do you? I nodded without a word. But your parents sure wouldn't like it if you confess that. Isn't it frustrating that there's nothing you can do about it? I nod again. Well, I'm sure she has a solution. What if I helped you out? Could you live free life with no worries about any of that junk? But how? That you'll find out next time. In exchange, in return for helping you with your problem, you'll help me deal with a grudge of my own too? Oh boy. Don't dance with the devil. Don't dance with the devil. I mean, he had good intentions, I guess, but oh boy. Knowing where this all ended, with his family being dead and stuff, something definitely went wrong. Something definitely went wrong. What exactly? I don't know. We'll have to follow this fight. I mean, this story to the conclusion to find out, but definitely it sounds scary. But yeah, anyway, this is like, here, we're gonna give you some easy fights to farm some resources before we drop a hammer down your throat. We'll see, we'll see. I'm a little bit skeptical that the game can stop me anyway now. Like, is this really intended? Like, look at this. So many resources. That can't be intended. Like, why? Like, there's a big problem with that. With, like, being able to accumulate resources and them not being reset on checkpoints. That means that either you have to be aware of this, and so either the last fight will require you to have many of those, or not. Both is problematic, because if it requires a lot of these, then people who don't actually collect a lot of these will be in trouble when they reach the final fight. And if it doesn't require them, then everyone's gonna have a really easy time just breaking through it. Okay, so this is an abnormality fight, so I'm gonna bring my best team here just in case. Although I'm not expecting too much well, actually this is my best group, right? Those need SP anyway, so. But yeah, I find it problematic design. One day, a new transfer student named Demian. Okay, but we can also say, well, it doesn't matter. It's just a chapter 3. Who really cares? You're gonna get very stronger enemies. Besides, you're way too powerful with your tier 3 characters anyway, so you made the game too easy for yourself. Maybe. One day, a new transfer student named Demian was placed in the class next to mine. He was surrounded by a crowd every time I saw him. But I got the sensation that, well, he didn't feel attached to anyone around him. To me, he seemed as if he were almost floating in the air. He was aloof like that. Likewise, he didn't seem too interested in me either. That's how it was at first, at least. It happened during a boring engineering class. My eyes kept drifting away from the board, and before I knew it, they were looking out the window instead. Though, through that window I saw him taking a walk. Like usual, he was surrounded by his fellow students wearing a faint smile. Even his expression felt different from the kind someone his age should make. That smile carried a mature yet solitary aura. Basking in the sunlight, he stroked his hair. Huh? I thought I caught a glimpse of some weird red thing on his forehead. Oh, look at that. Was I mistaken? Maybe it was the blind sunlight reflecting off his skin. Okay, let me bet his name is E.G.O. And then I had the feeling I made eye contact with him. Oh no, we already know his name is Demian, so it's not E.G.O. Oh well. It would be cool if he was E.G.O. though. Mysterious transfer student. Some students were still chatting outside. As soon as I felt his gaze, I quickly averted my eyes and looked down at my desk. Ever since that strange incident, Demian started to talk to me in a friendly manner. Oddly enough, on the days when Demian approached me, Cromer didn't come to greet me. Nevertheless, whenever she had a chance to, she'd come and make sure that I remember our promise. I often have this dream, Sinclair. In it, I climb an endlessly long ladder, then everything down below comes into view. The nest, the back streets, the outskirts, all of it. And when I look beneath my feet, all the lights are out in the city as if the end of all things had come, fallen into silent death, empty of any motion. Indeed, it is the state of death itself. Demian, have you been to the outskirts? I whispered to him, frightened. He was talking about a forbidden place where no one could or should go. Sinclair, the world as people want to define it can be divided into places of where you should and shouldn't go. Do you think love and freedom can be found within the confines of this nest? Compared to here, life is much richer in the outskirts. There's something I've been pondering for a long time, and I thought that maybe that's where I could find the answer. Whenever I spoke with Demian, I could feel my soul mature a little, but I never mentioned my fears about the upcoming prosthetic procedure or my peculiar relationship with Cromer. Even though he wanted to know more about me, I was hesitant to share my secrets. I was too ashamed to bear my deeply hidden fears before him. And finally, the promised day had come. Yo, Sinclair, can you show me your basement? Her words struck me out of nowhere, yet they were as light as a feather. She asked me that as though if it were something as simple as picking up an eraser, and I almost caught myself agreeing to it. Why our basement exactly? If the rumor I just happened to hear is right, your house is connected to a scandalous place. There's something I've got to check. Oh yeah, the basement goes to the Lobotomy Corp branch, the basement we are in right now actually, in our dungeon run. But my parents won't like it. I couldn't even bring myself to finish that humiliating sentence. If you let me check it out, Sinclair, I swear I'll keep that promise with you. Cross my heart. Just sneak me the basement key and I can navigate just fine. Unable to detect the faint familiar feeling hidden in her words, I slowly nodded. Thus the world of evil began there, right in the middle of our house. Right. It's interesting to see how the past events unfolded. Oh, poor Sinclair, trusting forced way too much though. This is like a really easy, makes fun of those, let's just roll over this enemies kind of fight. Oh well, this is what it is. Yeah, this is like, this almost feels like the game giving you very easy fights. So just in case you didn't farm up the resources, you get them now. Solving the problem A, which I know that if the last fight does require resources, then those who didn't collect it would be in trouble. But, well, here's the checkpoint, here's a bunch of fights where you can farm resources, and then here's the final fight where, well, we're gonna drop a big hammer on top of you. That's what I'm expecting, so we'll see how correct or incorrect we are here, but yeah, that's definitely what we're fully expecting. However, the run was going swimmingly and I was able to accumulate a lot of resources, so I'm expecting like a very one-sided fight, really. But we'll see, who knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. This episode is getting a long time though, just because of the story, so like, I don't know, part of me thinks that I can push it and finish it, but with every new encounter uncovered, I feel like it's less and less likely. Okay, we're gonna do one more and I'm gonna make a cut. Yeah, it will just be a too long of a video. I don't like publishing 1-hour videos, so yeah. Hearing bells that may be familiar, right, so another chance to get even more SP. Oh, the Don Quixote is the only one who needs some more, and then there is Honglu with only 40, but that's fine. Right. No more stories? Okay. Oh no, there will be a story, right? After stealing the key without my parents noticing, I took Cromer to the basement of my estate as I had promised. From there, she led me to a dirty air vent. Crawling in the unlit vent for a while, a dank, grimy odor and the sound of smoke critters scuttling about assaulted my senses. My clothes were stained with filth, my throat was parched and I was overcome with a desire to go back. That's when I noticed that the smell my nose picked up had just changed from the stench so far. Can you feel it? Cromer whispered to me. Can you feel it? There's something up ahead. This might have been the last chance I had to turn back. You didn't take it, did you, Sinclair? It might have been better to dissuade her with all kinds of sweet placations to leave and come back later, even if I knew that empty flattery wouldn't work on her. But before I could try, a wild curiosity came over me. I was entering a world where villains belonged for the first time, and for some reason, I gave up turning back, all while knowing in my heart that I was squandering my last chance. Oh, the loathsome sight I had to witness. It was something I couldn't think to behold twice. Could monstrosity be an apt description for what I saw? It seemed too sentient for that, yet it also seemed decidedly wrong to say that it was even remotely human. Ugh. Shuddering in fear, I started to regret stepping into this world. Sinclair, you idiot, look at yourself, hoping by some miracle to get another chance right after you've wasted it. Along with my regret, I had the feeling that I'd never forget what I saw that day, until the moment I die. Cromer, I've got to go back. On the other hand, Cromer was enraptured. She was mesmerized by the scene, watching intently as though she had made a discovery of a lifetime. Huh. Leaving Cromer all enamored by it to herself, I crawled backwards to the exit. Why is my basement connected to such a horrid place? How did Cromer know this? Why isn't she scared either? I could almost hear Cromer's spine-chilling whistles with the wind blowing from behind. The very next day, Cromer came to the school as if nothing had happened. Sinclair, thank you so much more for showing me precious things. Take these as my thanks. She handed 2 mysterious coins to me. Always keep them at your side. Got it? All I could do was nod. Since then, the things I saw in that vent constantly haunted my mind, and I began to consciously avoid Cromer. I could picture myself involuntarily trembling in terror just by looking at her. But there was something I needed to take back from her. The basement key. My parents could find out at any moment. 1 minute of sorting the keys is all it would take. For the first time, I betrayed my parents living in a world of warmth. I was afraid that my deviation from their world would end up becoming an irrefutable fact. Cromer, won't you give it back now? Give back what? The basement key. I mustered the courage to ask one day. Cromer burst into laughter as though she didn't expect this from me. Intimidated, I slowly stepped back. Oh, and here I was wondering what you were struggling so hard to say. Fine, you can have it, Sinclair. We don't need the key anymore. And besides, your grudge will most certainly bear fruit, Sinclair. You didn't want to get your procedure, right? You remember our promise? You fulfilled my grudge, so it's only fair that I pay you back. I was too absorbed in the relief of getting my key back to realize what Cromer was really talking about, and I cursed my ignorance for it. About what Cromer's "we" really meant, about why she said it's not needed anymore, and how she was going to fulfill my grudge. I didn't think to question a single thing, and for that, well, I regretted my inaction. I cursed my foolishness. Well, something really bad happened, and we're gonna find out what next. But since she has said "we," that definitely means, well, she had somebody on her side, so... Or was it Sinclair that she was... No, couldn't be, right? But yeah, anyway. She got what she wanted. Sinclair, naively enough, gave her the key, and, well... These are the consequences. A basement full of crusaders, led by none other than Cromer, the one who grips. They're getting closer and closer. I can feel it in the air. One fight after another. One zealot after another. Well, kissing the floor, going down in the dust. It's almost as she wants us to like fight through. She did send these people into their certain death, tell them that she will bring them back. She wants us to do this. She wants us to plow through her friends, well, not friends, her subordinates before we get to her. Why? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out, well, in next episode. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this one. A lot of narrative, but well, if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Not sure how much we have left. Hopefully we can finish it in the next episode. I wish you all to have a wonderful day. Do something nice, be kind to each other, and let's make the world a better place together. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next episode of Limbus Company. TheNeomare signing out. Bye bye.